Hi, how are you? Please join me. Come in, come in. All right. So just waiting for people to join. Here we are with another IELTS journey with Fabi. Okay, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Fabi. I'm an English teacher, and this is a warm up for the workshop IELTS Booster. Okay, it's a free event where I will show you the path to get the score you need on the IELTS test. Okay. And do the test only once, guys. Just do the test only once, please. uh, if you have done the test and if you didn't get the score, okay, you can still do it. All right. So this workshop is for you. All right. And if you want to get the score you need on the IELTS test, all right. So just in the comments, you can just go ahead and type join and you get a message from me where you get a link and you can join the workshop. All right. So, guys, you can tell me where you're watching this from. You can say hello, and I will get to the messages in a moment later today. All right, cool. So, today we're going to be talking about a topic that people have been struggling with. Okay. So, today's going to be reading. Okay. We're going to talk about reading today, but a very specific strategy for reading that I find amazing, but lots of people struggle with sometimes. Okay. Highlighting, highlighting, highlighters. Or you can even use a pen. It doesn't matter. Okay. So just pop it in the comments, guys. So, do you usually highlight the IELTS test when you are doing the test, especially the reading part? Do you usually highlight? Just let me know in the comments whether you highlight or not. Okay. So, that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about highlighting. Okay, and I'm going to tell you why it's so important. Okay, why this is actually a game changer. I've seen people improve 1 point in 1 week just by improving their highlighting skills for the IELTS test. Okay, the reading part. Okay, especially the reading part. Okay, so let's get started. And guys, as usual, pop the questions in and I will get to the questions at the end. All right, cool. So, first, what is highlighting? Okay, what is highlighting? Highlighting for the IELTS test is basically choosing. Okay, so you just choose things and you go and you highlight. Okay, so today specifically, we're going to be talking about the reading part, but let me get the general one to show you 1 second. For for those of you who have done the test, it makes sense. But if you haven't done the test yet, I'm just gonna quickly show you. Right. So if you're gonna do the IELTS general training, okay, one reading would probably look like this. Okay, so this is a reading. Not that bad, huh? Okay. However, if you were doing the academic, okay, where is it? If you're doing the academic, that's what you have to read. Okay, that's what you have to read. That's what you have to do. Okay, so it's quite long. But even if you are going to do the general IELTS test, the last part looks like this. Okay, guys. So if you're going to do the general, the first two parts of the reading, they have shorter texts, but the last part is quite long. And if you get to, if you're doing the academic, you're going to have 3 texts that are quite long too. Okay, so when we are highlighting, we are making the text shorter. That's basically what we're doing. Okay, because when we highlight, we choose. Okay, highlighting is basically choosing. Okay, we choose and then we focus on some specific things. Okay, but I'll tell you about that later. Okay, first of all, let's talk about highlighting in itself. Highlighting is basically choosing. Okay, so when you highlight things, you are choosing what you want to highlight, right? But then Some people have problems with that. Okay, some people have problems with highlighting. Why? Okay. The first problem people have with highlighting is that they don't know what to highlight. That can be a big problem. And that's what stops most people from highlighting because they don't know what to highlight. All right. That's one problem people have. The second problem is uh, they feel pressure. When you have to choose something and you don't know what to choose, like, oh, and they get stuck and they don't highlight. And other people are scared of highlighting the wrong stuff. All right. So that's why we're here today. I'm here today to help you with that. Okay. I'm here to help you with that today. All right. Just to talk about highlighting and what to highlight. And I'm also going to tell you how that can help you improve your score. Okay. Stay with me. Stay with me. Okay. Cool. So, for the people who feel a lot of pressure, okay, when they're highlighting, it's because they're not sure about what they're going to highlight. Okay, so lots of people talk about highlighting the keywords. Okay, I don't know if you have heard that before. You can pop it in the comments if you have heard that before. Oh, when you're highlighting, highlight the keywords. Okay, I personally don't like saying that because sometimes people have problems knowing what the keywords are. Okay. I don't know if you have had a problem before, but I've had students saying, Fabi, I don't highlight because I don't know what the keywords are. And I say, okay. So that can be a problem. Okay. Because for some people, it is kind of obvious, but for others, it's not. Okay. So instead of telling my students to highlight the keywords, I usually tell them to highlight whatever is important in the sentence. Okay, so you're reading and you go and you highlight whatever is important. Okay, and then it will help you more instead of just focusing on keywords. Okay. And another thing is, in addition to maybe highlighting the things that you think are important, I also tell my students to highlight things that will help them remember the topic. Okay? That's another thing. All right. So, guys, so just think about it. Highlighting is difficult because I don't know what to highlight. Okay. Highlight the keywords. I don't know the keywords. Okay. Then you can highlight the things that you think are important, or you can highlight the things that will help you remember the text. Why? Um, I've always been the kind of person who actually, when I'm reading, I always have a pen with me. Not a pen, I usually have a pencil because I don't really like to use pens in my books. So I always have a pencil with me. Okay. So when you're reading and you are highlighting, okay, it helps you understand the text better too, guys. I can say that from experience. Okay. All right. So that's one of the main things with highlighting. All right. So just imagine how many of you get sleepy when you read? How many of you read and then you get to the end of the sentence and you don't remember anymore? How many of you? Okay. I feel from my own experience and also sharing it with some my students that if we have something in our hands, and if you are thinking about highlighting, you end up paying more attention because remember, highlighting is choosing. So if you're choosing, maybe you are being a little bit more active. So you pay more attention to what you're reading. All right. And consequently, you don't sleep. That's another thing that helps you. You don't sleep. Okay. So that's something that we have to think about also when we are highlighting. Okay. So that's one of the benefits, I think, of highlighting. All right. So when you're reading and then you can choose and you have something in your hands, I think it's more active. Okay. I think it's a little bit more active. While I was in university studying, right, to be a teacher, we talked about reading, studied a lot of reading. And one of the things that teachers used to say was that when you're reading, you're kind of talking to the text. When I'm highlighting, I feel like I'm talking to the text. All right. So it's quite active. And I do think that sometimes people get sleepy and it's understandable. Okay. Especially for the IELTS test, I think the reading part is the second part, I think, which is not too bad. But depends on the test center. But if, for example, the reading part's the last part, you might be a bit tired because you've done, I don't know, 40 minutes of listening, then an hour writing, and then you get to the reading. So you're probably tired. Okay. So you have to find a way to be actively reading. Okay. So to me, would be a good way would be having something in your hands and highlighting. Okay. So that's one of the benefits. All right. Another one is, which I think is the most important for us today. Okay. We talked about the size of the text. Okay. So, guys, remember, if you're doing the IELTS test, it's because you want to achieve something big. Okay. Usually, most people, they want to study abroad. Okay. So, the university you're applying for needs to be sure that you can read well, that you can read a long text, that when you go to university there, you'll be able to read whatever they ask you to read. So the text on the IELTS test, they're a little bit longer, okay, just so they can be sure that you can do it. Okay. But again, there are ways to make the text shorter. To me, the best way is highlighting. Okay. So, but how can highlighting make the text shorter? Let me tell you. Uh, when you're reading, like I mentioned before, guys, when you're reading, you start reading and you have your pencil or pen or even a highlighter with you. You have that with you. And as you read, you can highlight the keywords if you know the keywords, if you're confident highlighting the keywords. But my advice is always highlight whatever is going to help you remember the topic there. Okay, because remember, when we're reading for the IELTS test, we don't have to read everything. We don't have to understand everything the first time we read. We just have to have an idea. So when we start reading and we go highlighting whatever we think is important, we go highlighting whatever we think is going to help us remember the topic there. Okay, we are making the text shorter. Why? After you highlighted the whole text, so you read again, to me, okay, in my practice, the advice I give my students is read the text first, not the questions first. That's my advice, okay? You guys will do whatever works best for you. My advice is usually this one. I've seen people improve 1 point in 1 week just by doing that, okay? So you would read first, okay? And then as you read quickly, what we call skimming, as you do that, you will highlight whatever you think is important. Okay? That's what you're going to do. And then you finish and you go to the first question. When you go back to the text, are you going to read everything again? No, you won't. You will go straight to what you have highlighted. So you don't have to read everything again. And that's how you make the text shorter. Okay, you go straight to what you highlighted. Oh, the question is about dogs in the wild. Oh, I saw that. Oh, dogs wild. Here. That's the information. Is it the answer? Maybe yes, maybe no. Then we read around. And that's how you make the text short. Because just imagine, guys, if you had to read everything again just to see where they talk about wild dogs again, that would take you forever. Okay, it'll take you forever. All right. So that's why I tell you that when we highlight, we make the text shorter. Okay, so that's one of the most important things. Okay, so we talked about the fact that when we highlight, we make the text shorter. First one. Second one, we also talked about the fact that it will help you not sleep. Okay, guys, just imagine yourself, really, guys, just imagine yourself going. But now imagine yourself going. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yep. Think about that. Put that into practice and let me know. Okay. Please. And then the third reason why highlighting is so important, guys. Okay. 90% of my students who highlight, they get more accurate answers. And again, guys, the main point of the IELTS is to get the answers right. Okay. So we want to get the answers correct so we can get a high score. When you highlight, you can get more answers correctly. Okay. And I will tell you two stories. Okay. Um, let's say a story with a happy ending and a story with not so happy ending. Okay. So I was helping some students read with the reading for the IELTS test, and we were talking about highlighting. Okay. And then it was the first time they were highlighting. So I told them, okay, guys, so just choose one color, one highlighter. Like you just choose a color. And I think the student should chose, she chose yellow. This is yellow, right? Green, yellow, green. This is yellow. This is green. And she chose green. And she's like, okay, so read first, go ahead and highlight whatever you think it's important. Okay. And then she went, da, 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 da. Okay, highlight everything. Okay, cool. And then she answered the questions. And she did quite well. She did quite well. And then I said to them, now look at the questions and choose another color. She chose blue. Sorry, she chose blue. And choose another color to highlight the answers because now they knew the answers. And then she. Okay, so remember the first highlighting, the one she did by herself, she used yellow. And then once she finished and she got the answers, she chose blue, right? And then I was checking, what people were doing, blah, blah, blah. And then I could see that she had 3 colors in her reading. And I was like, what happened here? I told you to use 2 colors, but you have 3 colors. She's like, no, what happened? The yellow is what I highlighted. Blue is the right answer. And when I went with blue over the yellow, I got green. So green is what I highlighted in the right answer. I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. I had no idea. And she was happy because she had lots of green. So what happened was, it was her first practice highlighting. Okay. And she did a very good job. So what did she do after that? She kept applying this strategy and she did very well. Guys, remember, we have to try different things. Okay, when we're studying for the IELTS test, we have to try strategies and we check if it works. If it works, we keep doing it. And that's exactly what she did. Okay, she managed to take some notes and all of that, and then she kept doing that because we have to measure what we're doing and we have to keep track of what we're doing. Okay, so that was the happy ending story. Okay, so the student, so she tried for the first time, she used this color and that color, and then in the end, everything that was green was actually what she had highlighted and what was the answer. And guys, okay, if you're watching this, I want you to try this today. Okay, you will be surprised at how often you highlight the correct answer. It's just crazy. It's crazy, guys. You have to try it. You have to try it. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you the story that is not such a good story. I was helping a student, okay, with the IELTS test, and she never highlighted in her life. And then I said to her, oh, you have to highlight. And we talked a little bit about highlighting. She was very excited to try. And then she did the test. And then she came to me and she said, Fabi, I don't think highlighting is for me. I got a really low score. And I was like, okay, let's have a look. And then I asked her to go ahead and do what I mentioned before. Okay, want to get the answers, try to highlight the answers. And then she did that. And then she was quite embarrassed. And I said, why? She said, look, Fabi, this is what I highlighted. I said, okay. And whatever is circled is the right answer. I said, okay, so you highlight the right answer. She said, yes. So, guys, check out what she did. She took the time to highlight everything. But when she had to go back to the text, she ignored the thing she had highlighted. And I said, why did you do that? She said, because I wasn't confident with my highlighting. I said, really? Said, yeah, I completely ignored it because I thought I wasn't doing it correctly. And I got everything wrong because I had highlighted the right answers. I was like, oh, guys. So that happens. So it's funny because it was her first time doing it and she did a good job. And guys, you'd be surprised at that's why I said that sometimes the IELTS test is quite easy because when we think too much, we might not get the right answer. But if we relax a little bit and if we focus, and maybe just don't think too much, we are more likely to get the right answers. Okay. Guessing, okay, I think we should be guessing. Yes, guessing is also important on the IELTS test if you don't know the answer, but we should take the time to try and analyze it, but don't overthink because you waste time. Okay. All right. So highlighting is the key, guys. Everyone should be trying it today. Okay. Let me know how you feel. Okay. So we talked about the. Oh, God. Okay. That you can make the text shorter when you highlight. Okay. It helps you keep track of what you're doing and you have more accurate answers. Okay. So I've seen that some people have joined. Okay, guys. So just to let you know, okay, I don't know if you saw my picture in my profile. It says the 1st of July. What is happening on the 1st of July? Who knows? Who knows what's happening on the 1st of July? So, guys, on the 1st of July, it's going to be the first day for the workshop IELTS Booster. Okay, so during this workshop, I will tell you the path to get the score you need on the IELTS test. All right. If you'd like to join, if you just type join here in the comments, okay, I will send you a link and you'll be able to click on another link. Click on that link and you will join. Okay, make sure you join the WhatsApp group too, please. Okay, so if you don't want to, some people are writing join, that's so cool. So guys, if you don't want to write join here, you can always go to my profile. Oh my God, to my profile, the bio, and there's a link there too in which you can join. Okay, so just type join and I'll send you a message. Or if you want to go click there, you can go ahead and click there. Goody, goody. All right, okay. So we talked about that. Oh, yeah. So there's one more thing I want to tell you. Okay, one more thing I want to tell you about highlighting. Sorry. Oh my God. Oops. Okay. I pressed something here. All right, cool. So one thing that when people talk about highlighting, lots of people talk about highlighting numbers and names. Who usually does that? Who usually highlights numbers and names for the IELTS test? So numbers and names. I personally don't think it's a good idea. Okay, guys, if it's working for you, keep doing it. If it's not, you can change it because I feel that numbers and names, they are easy to find. Okay, it's quite easy to find, but it's really personal. Okay, so if it's working for you, keep doing it, but it's worth maybe trying something else. Okay. And I also hear people saying that they don't highlight because it takes too long. Okay. Maybe it takes a while when you start highlighting. If you just started, maybe it take you a little bit longer. Okay. But if you've been trying for a while, I think it saves time. Saves a lot of time because just remember, guys, when we're highlighting, we're making the text shorter. We are just focusing on what's important and we go back to it and then we focus on what's important, right? So that saves you time. It's quicker, it's much quicker. All right, but again, it takes a little bit of practice for some people they try to, like I just mentioned, the story of my student. She first time she tried, perfect, it really works. And I think she went on to get a really high score on the IELTS test. I can't remember what score she got, but she did quite well, very well actually. So that's one thing. All right, and then um when you highlight, you just make things shorter and it's much quicker and you get more accurate answers, guys. Even if it takes you a little bit longer, okay, you get more accurate answers. Okay, so just think about that. And again, guys, when it comes to strategies, people are different. Okay, that's why it's good to try different strategies and remember keeping track of what you're doing. Okay, so when you're practicing, it's important to think about it. What strategy am I using today? What am I doing? And then check if it worked for you. Keep track, measure. Okay, I tried this. Was it better or was it worse? I tried that. Was it better or was it worse? Okay, because if you don't do that, it's really hard to know what's working and what's not working for you. Okay, all right, goody goody. Okay, yeah, so we've been talking about highlighting here. Okay, and the importance of it and how we can make the text shorter. But I know that most of you are thinking, Fabi, you keep showing me these highlighters. They are beautiful, all these different colors, but I'm not gonna do the test on paper. I'm going to do the test on the computer. How am I going to highlight, Fabi? Does anyone have the answer to this question? If you're going to do the test on the computer, how are you going to highlight? Da-da-da-da. With your mouse. Okay, so guys, when you're going to do the IELTS test on the computer, um, you will be able to select, you select whatever you want to highlight. So let's say there are two words, you select these two words, right click, and you give you options. And one of the options is highlight. Okay, so no excuses. No excuse. I personally think it would be much easier to go okay with the highlighter itself, okay? But you can use the mouse. You can use the mouse. All right? And remember, with the access on the computer, you have the text and the questions, okay? Side by side. And that saves you some time too. Okay, guys. So there are no excuses. Okay. Oh, and you can even highlight the questions. Yeah, even the questions. You should be highlighting the questions. Sure. Yeah. So even on the computer, you can highlight the text or the questions also. You can highlight both. You can go ahead and highlight both. Okay. So that's a win-win situation. All right. Goody goody. Let me, guys, you can pop questions in. I'm just gonna have a look at my notes. Make sure I told you guys everything. I think so. Yeah. 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 Oh, yeah. And the focus here today is talking about reading and how we can highlight the reading text. You can also use this strategy in listening. Okay, I'm not going to get into it today because we don't have that much time. Oh my God, 30 minutes already. Okay, we don't have that much time, but maybe in the future we can talk about that using highlighting even for the listening and writing. Okay, but it's something that we should be doing as soon as possible, guys. If you're going to practice today, make sure you apply this. Okay, make sure you apply this. All right, so today I talked about highlighting, okay, and how highlighting can make the text shorter. And why is that? Because when you're reading and you start highlighting, okay, you can go to the questions, and then when you come back you just focus on what you have read. Sorry, you just focus on what you have highlighted. You don't have to read everything again, and that will save you a lot of time. Number one. Number two, you'll be surprised. Sorry, you'll be surprised at how often you highlight the correct answers. So you'll be like, what? I never knew I knew where the answers were. Okay, so you'd be surprised. It doesn't work all the time, but it works most of the time. Okay. So, guys, you can pop questions in. Okay, and I'm going to go over the messages in a moment. All right. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to tell you again one more time. If you like to know the best way to get your score on the IELTS test, join me for the workshop IELTS Booster. Okay. You can write join here in the comments, or you can go ahead and go to the link in my bio. Okay. I think there were some questions here. I'm checking YouTube. No questions on YouTube. You can also watch me on YouTube, guys, if you're interested. Okay. I think that's it. Okay. Okay, Vicky said hello, hello. What else? Some people say good afternoon. I have a question. What's the question? Okay. How difficult is the IELTS test? And is it possible to get a C1 or C2 for non-native speaker? Yes, it is possible, John. 100% possible. I'm not a native speaker and I got a C2. Okay, I've helped lots of people get C1. Guys, the IELTS test is not that complicated. John, I think you should just write join there to join the workshop where I will explain a little bit more about the IELTS test and how you can get a high score. Okay, John. But yeah, guys, I don't know if you got the live from yesterday. If you didn't, you can always go to YouTube and go to lives. And I actually talk about how simple the IELTS test is. It's not that difficult, guys. You just have to get to know it and practice the right way, analyze the test in the right way. Even if you're not native speaker, you can get a high score on the IELTS test. Okay, so it is not that difficult, John. You just have to know the right method, do it the right way, and study the right way to make it simple for you. Okay. Let me know if you have any other questions. Okay, John. Let me see. Okay. Some people are saying thanks. You're welcome. My best teacher. Oh, awesome. Some people said good evening. All right. Some people said hello. Okay. Another question. What is your advice to learn all grammar in English in record time? Oh my God. That's a very difficult task. All grammar in English in record time. So you can learn the grammar. Okay. I just feel that sometimes it's better to go slowly. Okay. And practice. I think it's about practice. I think it's all about practice. But I just feel that sometimes with language, it takes us a little bit longer to acquire it. Or maybe there will be just one topic that maybe you get stuck. Okay. But I think you should start slowly and doing a little bit every day. And within 6 months, maybe you'll be able to achieve it. I haven't thought about that. Sorry, I'm not sure I can help you a lot with that one. But my advice would be a little bit every day. A little bit every day. Okay. Next question. Some people joined. Cool. Any other questions here? Let me see. No, that was it. All right, good. Okay, so guys, if you're interested in the workshop, just click in the link in the bio. Click on the link in the bio. You can also just type join here and you'll be able to join. Okay, so I will see you tomorrow. I'm back tomorrow. Okay, someone saying hello, hello. Yeah, so I'll be back tomorrow, same time, with more things for the IELTS test. Okay, all right. Okay, so yeah, so if you want to send me a question later, okay, if you have a request also, if you have a request for the lives for the next few days, you can always send me a message. All right. So I'm going to go and I will see you tomorrow. Okay. Bye.